Sue, it's an interesting conversation to know where to begin. So I am going to ask you, first of all, if you only had 30 days to live, how would you want to spend them?
Oh, that's a really great question. Geez, it would definitely be spending every single moment with my son and my partner and his daughter and my animals. I love my animals. Yet I love to travel too. And there's so many places that I want to see. So I would have to prioritize where I would want to travel. And I love the mountains. I love the beach. I want to see other countries. I'd always promised my son I would take him back to Iceland. So maybe that's something that we would do. And I think the other thing that I would do is to really make sure I go through my possessions and really clean things out, because when my mother died, their house was packed with stuff. They were Depression era babies. They didn't get rid of anything, even broken items they had kept. And it was such a monumental task to clean their house out. And my son, I think, was a little shell shocked to see how bad it was. And I looked at him, I said, honey, I promise I will not do this to you. And he goes, oh, thank you, mommy. So I'm sure some of that will be making sure that he and my partner don't have to bear the brunt of also cleaning out my possessions on top of having to grieve me.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. So if you had 30 days left, what would you do? How would you spend them?
Well, I feel very grateful to live in a beautiful place surrounded by nature. And I wouldn't want that to be any different if I could help it. You know, I think it's that over 70% want to die at home, and yet only 20% do. So if I'm fortunate enough to be, and no matter where that is, because I have seen some really beautiful, touching end of life circumstances that were handled in a hospital with great grace and great respect. And all positive things considered, I still would rather be where it's familiar to me. I would love to be surrounded by my kids and grandkids and the people who love me. And I would want to be clear enough that they can manage the energy around me so that I'm not inundated. I'm an introvert at heart, so that I wouldn't necessarily be inundated, but have the opportunity to connect with people one final time in a meaningful, mindful way. And it always makes it the challenge for me because my kids live 2 states away from where I live. So it is like, when and where will that time be that I decide? Of course, I think the most important thing for me is to be with my kids and my grandkids in some way. Like you, every moment, I think what I've learned is like every moment matters. How do you make every moment matter? And I feel very fortunate to have seized the moment, carpe diemed along the way, that if I were to die today, tomorrow, that I have traveled. I would love to travel more. But I feel very fortunate that I didn't live this work, and then wait until I retired to then enjoy life it's where I feel fortunate that I've done it along the way. And I suppose I would love to have just peace around me, no drama, no drama. So that's how I'd want the last 30 days to be, is filled with joy, filled with anything spontaneous that comes up, that if I were able-bodied, that I would seize the moment and do, and care less about what other people think of me.
Yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful.